Good afternoon, guys. I wanted to do a small walk around for one of my last of my early 70 Husqvarna saws. This one being one of my Husqvarna 280s, and just a real beast, a thing of beauty. Some interesting design tweaks between some of the Husqvarna saws. So if you looked at an original 180 Husqvarna saw, they would have a complete plastic handle bolted in, and they were launched in 71. Then the 280 was more of a professional saw, so it was the metal handle from the fuel tank was taken back to the very butt of the handle, and then was a plastic top. And then if you looked later at the, excuse the handwriting on here, it's just to remind me of that particular cover, which I'll explain in a second. And if you looked at then the 380 and the 480, then the 480 of course is all metal handle all the way around, and then that facilitated the need for a different throttle mechanism, different linkages. So they also had some other very subtle design tweaks as well. Let me put this camera back up here. I'll be able to lift the saw up and explain better. It's a bit of an angle, so sorry about that, boys. Excuse that. So they had some other design tweaks as well, which were in the pull start housing. These used 3 starter pulls, I think on the 180 as well, the 280, yes. By the time they got to the changeover from the 380 from 74, there's a few model changes, and then the 380, the 480 then went to a twin starter pull mechanism. So although the side covers look very, very similar, almost identical, you would find that they have a very different mechanism inside, and the 380, 480s have a plastic spacer and a shim, whereas this one has an inner plastic sleeve which protects the starter housing, so completely different in that regard. And the exhaust is a very slight baffle change, strangely. And carburation wise then they started with the 122s. By the 380s in 74 they went between a 122 and a 169 Tillotson, and then by the time you get to the 480s I think they're a Tillotson 202, when they made a tiny bit more power and they revved a little bit harder. For me, this thing is just the epitome, again, of the saw of this age. They start spectacular, they're effortless to cut with. I've since fitted a 480 chain brake assembly to her, because the fittings were exactly the same. And I was cleaning the chain brake, and the spring, when I undid the top screw, went off like a rocket from NASA. So I have a new spring and a new nut arriving for it. So this is going to go up on eBay as a collector's item. I'll show it cutting in a minute, but bear in mind that's missing for the time being. But I hope to have that very, very shortly. Okay guys, I'm going to pause the video, set some wood up, and I'll show you the beast cutting. Back in a minute. Hi guys, I'm back. So I'm really excited actually to see how she cuts. I haven't cut with the 280 for a while, and I don't know if I mentioned just earlier, I've got the 480 style side cover on her. She's running a 20-inch Oregon rolling nose bar, I believe in great condition. I think the chain is still very sharp, and got fantastic compression. A selection of ash, fir, some beech, some willow. So let's see how she cuts. Fabulous compression, great starting engine. Hey. Hey guys, wow, she cuts fantastic again. Just perhaps not quite the same urgency as the slightly later 71cc Danon, but just through the ash and a bit of willow and a bit of fir tree, just fantastic, effortless, absolutely effortless. See if there's something slightly bigger we can put with her. One second there. Okay. Okay. One more gnarly piece. Here we go. Kill switch, throttle lock. Okay guys, thanks for watching. That's my gorgeous Husqvarna 280 running a 480 CD side cover. Any questions, please just ask. Anyone want to come take a try or try the saw, you're more than welcome. That's going up on eBay again as a collector's item. That's literally my very last early 70s 77cc Husqvarna. Bye for now guys.